Hey, don't underestimate the power of simply spending time with your kids chatting, chit-chatting, talking, listening, and absorbing what they're thinking, what they're saying. Don't underestimate the power of chatting. I'm going to tell you a story. So it starts with spending time with your kids. Oh, we all know this. The other day, I had to have both of my cars serviced. We just needed the tires balanced and rotated. So I brought my 18-year-old with me, the power of having two drivers in the house. And while we were waiting for the car, we went for an hour walk. The car was going to take about an hour. So we walked 30 minutes in one direction, we turned around and we came back 30 minutes in the other direction. And while we were chatting, I learned some stuff from this kid as we were talking. And I wanted to remind you, as I remind myself, that there is a cycle that happens when you are hanging out chatting with your kids. I bet it's the same for you as it is for me. That if you imagine spending a quantity of time with your kids, the first half is very likely spent with you talking more than your child is talking. But there's a turning point. At some point in the conversation, we run out of things to say and our kids start opening up. So this magic side of the cycle, what happened with my son is what I'm going to encourage you to do. So you hang out with your kids and you're spending more time as a mom. I need me a haircut. That's why my hair looks like that. More time as a mom, you are spending listening. So listening, your ears are bigger, and your kids need to spend more time talking. You're just hanging out together, and you are going about your daily business, and you're listening more than you're talking. And what you're listening for is what makes your kids tick. Because you got to remember that you are a facilitator of a learning. Yes, you're a teacher. And yeah, you can throw worksheets in front of them and textbooks for them to work on. But the magic is in spending time together, getting past the time where you have so much to say, where you're listening to what they have to say, and you gather tidbits of information. So this is a hand gathering, oh, what magic things did we glean while we were talking? At this point in time, you may have spent, I don't know, an hour, this is my hand, came away with some magic beans, some secret sauce. I know what it is that makes his heart tick. So with my son, he and I went on a walk while we were waiting for our car. And he said, hey, Mom, I'm ready to start really working on my online business. And for the past year and a half, I've been teaching my kids how to make printables and sell them online, and talking with this son in particular who wants to be a worship leader, minister, pastor when he flies the coop, and trying to get him to brainstorm everything that it means to him to have his business. Well, I've been going about it all the wrong way. I've been telling him, you got to brainstorm, you got to write your ideas down. And something magic happened, and that's why I'm here talking with you today. So we spent about an hour on a walk. After the first half hour, he asked me the question, hey, can we start working on my online business? I said, sure. So we walked for another half an hour, 45 minutes, and I asked him questions. What does it look like to you? What could you call it? What kinds of things do you think it could be? Gathering information. Then we went home and I said, okay, now you need to document all that, and then we can I can help you with the next steps. And he went away and I came up to my magic whiteboard. Now I'm not going to share his business with you. I'm not going to share the ideas, but this is right here what I did on the whiteboard. Here's my whiteboard. And all I did was I drew this, and then I drew some clouds. I did 4 of them. And I did bullets like this. Did like 6. And then I decorated it with some things that meant something to him. They were applicable. So let's pretend, because it's not, let's pretend it has to do with flowers. So I drew some things on his paper that had to do with what his business, what he wants his business to be. And then I went to work and doing stuff like this for you guys, designing and organizing how to homeschool and to create visual things. And so he came up and he saw the blank board. I had written, when I was gathering information, I had written those topics in here. So let's pretend that this says seeds, this time, and blossoms, making it up as I go. Blossoms. Okay, so right in here, I wrote the word seed, and I wrote the word time, and I wrote the word blossom. That's very specific. And then I wrote his the name of the category of the business that he wants to do. And I walked away. Well, lo and behold, he walked in, he saw the board, and he picked up a pen and he filled the paper, filled it. He went through and he categorized, and he came up with 26 different things categorized that he could do for his business. And I sat there and I was looking at this thing going, I've been trying to get him to brainstorm these ideas that are in his head for over a year. But the power or the hold that a blank piece of paper had over him was paralyzing. But by giving him a template, he was able to fill in the blanks. And then we sat back and we looked at that, and I said, do you know what you have here? And he goes, just like information. I said, first of all, I want you to think outside of the box. These are the things that we talked about while we hung out, while we were waiting for the car. But I want you to think bigger. I want you to come up with 3 or 4 other things that you don't think that you want in your business. Just 3 or 4 other things, because you don't know what else is hiding deep inside there. He goes, okay, I can do that. But what happened was, by giving him a visual, it unlocked his ability to brain dump what he really wanted to do. And the secret sauce here is that that template gave him the ability to translate what's in his head in an organized fashion. And this was the piece that was missing. If I had handed him this piece of paper before gathering information, before spending time with him, and before listening to him, the piece of paper would still be blank. Mama, you are the secret sauce in helping your kids develop this passion for learning. Do you want to know something about my son? He doesn't love to write. He doesn't love to brainstorm ideas. But what happened with this piece of paper was that this showed him that I was fully invested in what he was doing. I was listening. So what does this mean for you? Because you may not have an 18-year-old that wants to launch their own business, and that's okay. You may have a 5-year-old or a 9-year-old that wants to learn about dinosaurs, and that's okay. The key is to spend time with your kids long enough that you get past what you want to say and you're listening to what they're trying to tell you that they want to learn. All kids have this side of the cycle, but we hang them up by saying, do page 47 of math. I want you to read this chapter in your book, and I want you to fold your laundry and put it away and make sure you go outside and shoot 20 baskets. So we fill this up with a to-do list. Don't do that, okay? It's great to chit-chat, but then listen. Spending quality time, and while you are doing that, you are mentally taking notes of the things that your kids are telling you. And then here's where the work comes in. Here's where the power of a notebooking page. Now, I put a couple links in the description on purpose, because as a professional facilitator of helping your kids become amazing learners, you need tools in your tool belt. Until recently, I always leaned on notebooking pages. Notebooking pages are template-like pages that are blank, that have a place for you to either cut and paste pictures from the internet, draw pictures, and then organize ideas into small spaces so that it's not just a blank piece of paper staring at your child. So once you have this information, you need to step back and go, okay, what kind of a visual will help my child take that passion and present it visually? Remember, one of the master goals in homeschooling, one of our master goals in homeschooling is that they become excellent communicators, both written and oral, right? And part of being able to be an excellent communicator is to be able to organize their ideas in a way that they can present them, or in a way that it makes sense to them so that they can take the next step. So you need some tools in your toolkit in order to help you help your kids. Help me help you, help me help you, right? So notebooking pages are an amazing tool. And I think it's Productive Homeschooling. She changed her name. She was always notebooking pages. Productive Homeschooling has thousands of templates for notebooking that you can use with your kids. But don't make the mistake. You don't start here. You start right here. Listening to your kids talk on the backside of the time. Oh, this is always inconvenient. You're on your way to go take your shower. You're on your way to go use the bathroom. You're on your way to go to bed. You're halfway back from where you need to go. It's always that case. You're driving in the car and you're tired and you're getting ready to unload your car. That's when your kids they're gonna dump their passions on you right then, because you've spent enough time with them that they can trust you with what's really going on in their heart. And now when you take this and you present them some kind of a way to capture that information, my son did not see this as a writing assignment. He saw it as, that's where I can write everything that I need. Everything that's going on in my mind fits into that image. And so this did not phase him in any way. He spent half an hour just writing and writing and writing and writing. And he said, oh, I could have written more, but I didn't have any more dots. I'm like, dude, just add some dots to the paper. It's totally cool. So that's it. Spend time with your kids, listen, gather information, gather their hearts and pieces. The younger they are, the more it's vague. As they get older, you'll start to be able to do this. You're always trying to pull this out because you can wrap everything that you're doing homeschooling through whatever this passion is. You can teach math, writing, history, science, art, music, food, wrapped around whatever it is that kind of, whatever it makes their heartbeat faster. But you want to grab some tools. So the reason I added in the notebook, or that, what's it called? Sketchbook Basics link down there with Diane. Now I'm an affiliate with both Deborah with Productive Homeschooling and Diane with the Doodle Institute. The Sketchbook Basics link, when you click that, you're actually going to get 21 Doodle Days link. But when you get that class, you get the opportunity to get the next 2 classes at a discount. And that's what I did when I got those Doodle Basics classes. Is my journal here? It is. And so as I am taking Diane's doodle classes and I am building my toolkit, as I am helping facilitate my kids' learning and helping me facilitate my teaching with you, I have a master journal that I am filling with the basics that I'm learning from, so visuals, how to organize pages and borders and different visual icons and things. You know, you might have seen some of these take form in some of the printables that I'm doing. The purpose behind my space doodle sketches, the purpose behind learning to doodle like this for me is to find these types of designs that I can help my kids see what is in their brains and in their hearts, and then to transfer it into a visual, organized manner that then they can
do the next thing with it or communicate it clearly with people around them. And I want that for you too. I want you to know that you have the ability to do this. This is not rocket science. And Diane is a master at teaching you how to organize a page inside of the doodle and inside of the sketchbook class. She teaches you how to look at a page and to break it up. So I'm going to erase this, give myself some space. I'm going to purposely drive the people, like the engineer type brains. I'm going to purposefully not erase the whole board because I know that might actually make you pay attention more because I didn't complete it. So Diane has the ability to take a piece of paper, that's a notebook, so 2 sides of a journal, and she teaches you so that you can teach your kids how to look at a page and break it into chunks to make it more understandable. So if I was going to take this same information that I just talked to you about it, and I'm going to use what Diane taught today that I watched in some of her sketchbook basics, she takes one side of the page to introduce the topic. And this is something you can learn how to do. This is something you can teach your kids how to do. Over here on this side, you would do the title. So in this case, we're talking about the beauty of chatting with your kids. So I would just write the word chat because to me, I know what that means, chatting. Then I will take this space down here and create a frame. When you have kids, you know how when you have a baby that is discontent and you put them inside of a cardboard box with some toys and suddenly they're perfectly content to play there for hours with these toys inside the cardboard box? It's because boundaries can provide safety and security. They also help organize your thoughts. So you have a title, you have this kind of a space to introduce the big ideas. So here I would draw myself and some ears, and don't worry about it being perfect. I draw myself, might make my ear bigger, and I might draw a clock. What else? I might draw some flowers because I remember I want to gather some information, right? I'm doing this fast because it's live. So I draw myself chatting, definitely would add a kid in there because I'm not just talking to myself. I want to be listening to my child, my grown children talking. And then on this side, I would want to create graphic organizers. That's a fancy way of mixing icons and images with words so that it's easy to get the basic meaning. Then I would do things like do a clock. And I would put time, and I'd give myself a place to write why it's important to spend time with your kids long enough that they can hear you. Then I might do an ear, and I might put listen, because you need to listen long enough to hear what makes their heart tick. Then I might do some flowers. And I put gather because I am looking for what makes my child's heart tick. What are they excited about? Once I know that, I can put them in the center of the target. I can put that passion in there, and then I can give them math, reading, writing, science, art, food wrapped into that passion, and they're just captivated audience. So we have time together, listen, gather, and then the last thing would be design. And so for design, I can just draw a pencil, and I can put the word design, and I can use templates, or I can use classes. And suddenly in my journal, I have a visual of what I just learned about spending time with my child long enough so that I can listen and gather what makes their heart tick, and then design, set them up for success to present what they're learning. And these things can be it's completely wide open. This designing could be giving them everything they need to create a puppet show. This designing could be giving them all the tools to present that or to make that garden that they were sharing that they really wanted to do. This design could be a template where they can document everything that they've learned. Or in my son's case, can be a blank whiteboard where I gave him an organized space that then he immediately knew what to do with that. When he saw it, he filled it up. So these are empowering tools that you add to your toolkit as a professional educator. And you are a professional educator. You just don't get paid money to homeschool your kids. You get paid in joy of watching them learn and that peace of knowing that they're pursuing their passions as they're moving along. So chat with your kids. Grab some tools for your toolkit, whether they're the free resources with the notebooking or the sketching things with Diane. I am seeing an unbelievable increase in retention. I had read that when you doodle, you increase your ability to remember and learn by 26%. And as I'm playing with doodles and I'm teaching more with doodles and I'm using them with my own kids and I'm designing these visual things, I'm seeing that may be not a big enough number. It's unbelievable. So that's it. If you have questions, let me know. If you jump in and you get into the sketchbook basic class and you take the doodle days and all that stuff, let me know, because I have some more secret things that I can show you to get you along faster so that you can build your visual, a visual vocabulary. Because once you learn how to draw a bean person, it becomes super easy to draw bean people. Once you learn how to draw flowers, it's super easy to draw flowers. So let me know if I can help you in any way. Spend time with your kids, but spend long enough chatting with your kids that you get them to that place where they feel like they can actually share their heart with you. It's how I got my son to share what he was really thinking about his business. It's also how my youngest son, who's 14, when he, on the way back from a really long walk, he said, "Mom, don't laugh. I think I know what I want to do." And I said, "Really? What?" He says, "I think I want to be a cardiothoracic surgeon." He's 14. And then we recorded as we walked, as we gathered all the parts and pieces that he was thinking. And then when we got home, we designed a learning plan for him that he then attacked like a teenager at a pizza party. It was unbelievable. And the things that he learned and the things that he produced were just gorgeous. And I could never have handed him a workbook and had him learned, had learned, okay, I can't teach grammar because I can never get it right, especially when I'm thinking out loud. But I could never have designed that lesson with paper. It had to happen on a walk in the rain when he got to that place where he felt like he could share. So anyway, this is Becky with A Better Way to Homeschool. You go, and if you have questions, let me know. I'll see you soon. Bye.